Welcome to Spectrum News at 4. I am Janice Kobum, coming to you live from Uyo, the capital city of Akwa Ibom State, Nigeria. Let's take a look at the headlines. Federal government to study Supreme Court ruling halting enforcement of cash swap deadline. NUC orders closure of VARSITIES for elections. Plus, first aid convoy reaches northern Syria since quake. We'll bring you details of these stories and more in a moment. Many thanks for joining us on the news at this hour. First in the news this afternoon, the federal government said it is studying ruling by the Supreme Court that halted temporarily the move by the federal government and Central Bank of Nigeria (CBN) to phase out the old 200, 500 and 1,000 naira notes from February 10. Special Advisor to the Attorney General of the Federation (AGF) debriefed necessary steps within the context of the rule of law before the 15th day of February 2023, when the matter is adjourned for hearing. Or agencies in Nigeria, as the ones already in existence were already too many. It disclosed this in Abuja at the Ministry's Departments and Director General Project Office of the Federation. Ben Akabweze said the Nigeria Creative Industries Development Bill 2023 seeks to establish a Creative Industries Development Commission and provide an enabling environment for the creative industries in Nigeria and other related matters. Akabweze noted that while the government continues to support the creative industries, it will not support the creation of additional agencies because it lacks funds for such. He observed that there were two key parts of the proposed bill, as the first had to do with the establishment of the commission, while the second was on the provision of an enabling environment. In the meantime, the federal government, through the agency of the Nigeria Customs Service, has said that the Benin Republic trade policy is hostile to Nigerian traders. The Customs Area Controller in charge of Seme Command, Dera Nadi, said this at the command headquarters. Nadi blamed the Benin Republic trade policy for the death of imports through the command, noting that the command was recorded 5 imports declaration with a total duty paid value of 13 million naira paid in 10 days. According to him, within the period under review, 122 trucks carrying 3.77 metric tons of made in Nigeria products were exported. And elsewhere, federal government says it will commence the implementation of its bottom-up cash planning initiative tomorrow. The acting Accountant General of the Federation, AGF Sylvia Okoliebo, disclosed this at a just concluded sensitization program in Abuja. He said that the initiative was being adopted as one of the best strategies to address cash management challenges of the federal government and as part of its public financial management reforms. Moving now to the judiciary, a federal high court sitting in Port Harcourt has restrained the Rivers State government from arresting any opposing members of the People's Democratic Party in the state. Justice A.T. Ibrahim issued the order against the police and Department of State Services following a motion exparte filed by some members of the PDP in the state. Justice Ibrahim ordered the Rivers State government and other respondents to maintain the status quo until the determination of the suits. The appellants in the suit are former national chairman of the PDP, Uche Secondus, Senator Lee Maiba, Abie Sekibo, George Sekibo, Celestino Mejia, Austin Opara, among others. And moving away from that, the International Monetary Fund (IMF) has urged the Central Bank of Nigeria (CBN) to go beyond recent increases in the policy rate to implement additional actions, including sterilizing the apex bank's financing of fiscal deficit under its ways and means window, as well as phasing out other credit intervention programs. The multilateral lender also called on the Nigerian authorities to expedite action in finalizing the move to securitize the 22.7 trillion overdraft extended by the CBN to the federal government to finance annual fiscal deficits. In a statement, the IMF stated that strengthening the CBN's independence and establishing price stability as its primary objective is critical. According to the IMF, Nigeria's economy has recouped the output losses sustained during the COVID-19 pandemic, supported by favorable oil prices and buoyant consumption activities. In education, the Regulatory Agency for Universities in Nigeria, the National Universities Commission (NUC), has ordered the closure of universities across the country to enable students to participate in the 2023 general elections. In a letter addressed to the vice-chancellors of all universities and directors of inter-university centers, the NUC noted that the directive was based on the directive of the Minister of Education, Adamu. And still in education, the Joint Admission and Matriculation Board (JAM) says it has cancelled the registration of 800 Registrar of JAM, Ishaq Oluyede, who made this known after separate meetings with stakeholders, said the registrations were invalidated over identified infractions bordering on the use of strange biometric fingerprints in the registration process. Oluyede said that some registration officers in the affected 178 computed that the 817 students will be given another opportunity to re-register for the. And meanwhile, the Tertiary Education Trust Fund (TET Fund) has constituted the National Contact Point (NCP) to serve as a channel for information dissemination on opportunities. As disclosed this at the presentation of the Nigerian Contact Network Program for 2023, the country effectively utilized the EU Research and Innovation Framework Program. Note that Nigeria TET Fund has the mandate to facilitate the institutionalization of research. In another development, the Deputy Governor of Sokoto State, Muhammad Iya, has handed in his resignation from the People's Democratic Party (PDP) leadership. Iya said that he appreciates the opportunities given to him to serve in various capacities under the PDP. No fewer than 11 commissioners in Sokoto State have dumped the People's Democratic Party (PDP) for the ruling All Progressives Party, in his membership in the main opposition party. According to reports, Muhammad made the disclosure in a letter directed to the PDP ward chairman. Back here, Akwa Ibom State Governor Udom Emmanuel has inaugurated the State Drug Control Committee (SDCC) in the state with the aim of intensifying. During the inauguration ceremony held at the State Exco Chambers, Government House, Uyo, Governor Emmanuel said controlling the circulation of illicit level of social vices carried out through the influence of the drugs. He charged the committee led by the White House towards the fight against drug abuse. In an interview with journalists, the chairperson of the committee, Dr. Marta Emmanuel, said the committee is committed to the mandate given to them and will identify all the addicts in order to counsel and rehabilitate them while ensuring that the defiants are made to face the full wrath of the law. Government House correspondent Jane Owa reports that the committee is made of 30 Obots Basi. In Africa now, Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov has visited Mauritania Foreign Minister Salem Mazorg and President Mohamed Ghazouani The two sides discussed bilateral cooperations across a wide range of areas, as well as regional and international issues. Lavrov said that Mauritania is interested in supplies of hydrocarbon fuel, food and fertilizers from Russia. He noted that the country is ready to satisfy requests for those goods from Mauritania and other African countries. Russian Foreign Minister added that the country will continue to encourage the UN Secretary-General to seek the removal of artificial, illegal obstacles that the United States and its allies maintain in the way of the logistics and financial chain for the delivery of Russian fertilizers and food to world markets. And still in Africa, a high court in Malawi has rejected a bid by the government to uphold the suspension of the head of the Anti-Corruption Bureau (ACB), Martha Chizoma. Chizoma was interdicted on grounds that she was facing criminal charges of allegedly defaming some high-ranking government officials. According to reports, she accused some top officials in government and courts of frustrating the fight against corruption. On the foreign scene, at least 17,000 people are reportedly killed in Turkey and Syria earthquake. The death toll from the 7.8 magnitude quake is set to rise as rescue efforts near the 72-hour mark that disaster